Well, hello there, and welcome to my kingdom. If you're not familiar with this game, it's called Pathfinder Kingmaker, and this has been the game that has been eating up just countless hours of my time recently. It's a CRPG set in the Pathfinder universe. It uses the same rule set as the Pathfinder tabletop game, and is based off the Kingmaker adventure path. So it's a very detailed, deep world with very fleshed out combat mechanics and a high level of customization. It is an RPG lover's dream. This game is absolutely amazing. It really just deserves so much more praise than it's gotten. It launched as a buggy mess, which is when I first played it, and I wasn't even able to get past Act 3. But I've kind of got a little burned out on Grimdawn, and I haven't had too many other games to play. And so I came back and I started replaying through this, and so far it's been 100% bug free, and I'm well into I think Act 4? Right now I'm playing on Kinet Assist, and I made it to around level 12, and I've experienced no bugs so far. So things are looking very, very well polished at this point in this game. And it's definitely come along for the better. The devs have really just turned this one around. So if you were looking for a good RPG to play coming up, definitely give this one a look. You really won't regret it. I'm going to have some guides coming up on the channel too on how to play some of the classes in the game, and probably how to properly do the kingdom management, and some hints and tips for the stories. I'm not going to try to spoil anything for anybody, but they're definitely for some new players that aren't familiar with the Pathfinder tabletop game. Coming into this game, there's going to be some things that you probably should know if you want to be successful at the game. Not just character-wise, but story-wise as well. But kind of enough about that. I'll cover that in later videos. But yeah, Pathfinder Kingmaker is what I've been doing. And it's also probably why I won't have a video out, because this game is so goddamn huge. And it takes up so much of your time. But I've been enjoying it so much, I can't stop playing it. Oh, and there's another DLC coming out for this game soon. They're adding in a roguelike dungeon that's supposed to be infinitely replayable. So with the massive, expansive rule set and the incredibly deep and engaging story that can take potentially 100 hours to finish wasn't enough for you, they're adding in an infinitely replayable dungeon. If you want to learn more, there's a nice post in their forums that I'm going to have linked down in the description. I'll probably have it up on the screen right now too. It looks really promising, and something new that I actually haven't seen added into a CRPG before, and I'm excited to play it and try it out. I'll definitely be making videos about this when it does come out. Beyond that though, I know a lot of the people that subscribe to my channel came here from Grimdawn, or huge ARPG fans, which I am too. And I'm definitely excited to get back into Grimdawn, but I've been playing it for about 5 months now, and man, I am just burnt out on it. I was in the middle of making another video for the game, and it was kind of just felt like I was forcing myself to play the game so that I could make a video, and it really wasn't that fun and that enjoyable for me. I definitely felt like it was kind of affecting the quality and the content of the video, and I didn't want to put out just some shitty half-assed video, so I just kind of put through it on the back burner. Because I know I'm definitely going to come back to the game. They're putting an update with a new roguelike dungeon in Grimdawn too. They're continuing to patch the game. They're going to be adding in new skills and new sets. The updates for that game are far from over, and I 100% plan to come back and play some more Grimdawn. But I'm also looking forward to these other RPG games that are going to be coming out as well. Also today, some very other exciting ARPG news came out. Path of Exile's Legion expansion. Finally, the information about that got dropped today on their website. I watched the Ziggy D video. I read the release information on the website. I watched the GGG video. I even watched parts of the Bay Class podcast and kind of listened to Jonathan's whole speech about how they changed Melee. It looks really promising, actually. I'm probably gonna make at least one character in the league. I don't know if we'll make videos about it. I might make a video about my starter build, or some suggestions for a starter build, but I really don't know how much Path of Exile content I'm gonna make. I'm probably gonna try to make at least one video about Path of Exile here in the future, because I am gonna be playing the Legion League. Probably the thing I like the most about the Legion League is the jewels. The jewels are the thing that kind of pulls me in the most, and how they changed up the skill tree. And it looks like in the picture on the website, I'll probably have in the background here. Like you can see like the keystone for Elemental Overload is changed to something completely new. I don't know if that's from the jewel or if it's just that they changed that keystone, but I think it's from the jewel. And I'm really excited to see that the effects that these jewels have in the skill tree and like the new ways to build around these jewels. I think that's something that like keeps bringing me back to Path of Exile, is all these new ways to build characters. I think that's the funnest thing about Path of Exile. Isn't really for me like grinding maps, because I played Path of Exile for like 5,000 plus hours. Like there's no, I don't want to grind maps anymore. Like I'm just done with it. Like what's fun for me in that game is just building new characters in new and interesting ways. And that's items like these that pull me back in and keep me playing these new leagues, because it just enables me to build these new and interesting characters. And this is what I'm looking forward to the most. They're also updating Melee, which is a pretty big thing. Melee in Path of Exile has really always felt pretty bad to use. Like actual like name lock Melee skills, like they just feel really bad. But from the videos I've seen, they definitely look a lot better. If anything, it's a huge improvement. I really like how the Melee feels like in Grimdawn. I wouldn't really be able to comment on like the huge differences between the two games as they are right now, because I'm not really a Melee player. I usually play spellcaster builds. But from what little experience I do have with playing Melee in both the games, Grimdawn just feels just 100 times better. And I think the changes to Path of Exile are definitely going to bring them a lot closer. It might even put Path of Exile's like overall feel ahead. I don't know, we'll have to see. I don't even know if I'm going to play a Melee build. I mean, usually, since they did this Melee rework, like a ton of people are going to be playing Melee, so it's going to be pretty advantageous not to play Melee in the beginning of the league if you want to kind of get rich. But I never usually play the game long enough to even use the money I make in the 2 to 3 weeks that I play Path of Exile when the league launches. In the little time I've thought about like what my starter build's going to be, right now I'm thinking about a Trapper. I've played one Trapper in Path of Exile, and it was before the rework. I'm thinking about playing Lightning Trap, and it recently got buffed, and it has very, very nice screen coverage. And that's going to be huge in this league. Like if you see actually look at how the mechanics work, like you have to hit the monsters to kind of awaken them. And the more monsters you hit, the more monsters are gonna awaken, you know, and you're gonna be able to kill them after the little time limit runs out. And I think just covering the screen in lightning traps is gonna be really good. You're gonna get very, very large returns and rewards from these monoliths. Just any really just great AoE clearing skill is gonna be good. Like Flicker is gonna be godly. Like Consecrated Path, things like that. Oh, they're gonna be so good. Hell, like Freeze Pulse, Ball Lightning, like any AoE skill is going to be amazing in this league for doing the monoliths. Just keep that in mind when you're selecting your build. It's kind of odd that they would do the Melee rework and then they would add in like a league like this, because a lot of the Melee skills they showcased didn't really have that much AoE, aside from like Tectonic Slam, which looked absolutely just insane. And then Cyclone. The Cyclone rework looks very promising from... Well, I mean, you need to see the numbers and the skill, of course, but it looked nice. It looked very nice. If there was a Melee build I was going to play this league, it would be Cyclone or Tectonic Slam. Both of those skills look very, very nice. I like what they're doing too with the stances. Like with, I'm not sure if it's just the Gladiator Ascendancy, or if it's like an ability you get on a skill. But I like that there's like these skillful gameplay elements that they're adding into the game, and there's like stances that you can toggle for different situations. Even if it is something as simple as just like, oh, like you use this while you're clearing a map, and then when you go into the boss room, you change your stance to do more single target damage. Like it's pretty simple, but it at least adds another, like something more to think about when you're in a map and doing things. I like that. It rewards more skillful play. This game could definitely benefit from more of that, I think. Those are things that would keep me playing the game. One thing that really surprised me are these incubator items. I've watched like a lot of interviews with Chris Wilson, and he seemed pretty vehemently against like these deterministic item reward things. Like I think like a very common question he gets asked a lot, since a lot of Diablo players have been coming over to Path of Exile, is if they would ever consider implementing a system like Diablo has, where, you know, after a certain amount of time you're guaranteed a legendary drop. And this is his answer. His answer was always like, no, like we have in no way are looking to add in something like this in the Path of Exile. He was pretty like vehemently against it, and then like here it is. Like this is actually like, this is it. So I'm very surprised to see something like this in the game. I don't even really think it's gonna have a big impact, honestly. Like getting a valuable currency item, or, you know, more divination cards. Ooh, you know, that's gonna be, you're gonna make a ton of money off that divination card incubator, I guarantee it. Sarcasm. I mean, if there's more like the Harbinger incubator where you're guaranteed a Harbinger item, I mean, there's some pretty nice Harbinger items, and league specific items, there's a lot of them. I mean, everyone's gonna love trying to, you know, play their luck with the Nemesis incubator if one of those exists. People love chasing them headhunters. But I don't really see these being a big impact on the game. I think it's going to be relatively harmless. I mean, it's already easy enough to acquire most items in the game. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on Path of Exile in the next coming up weeks. I'm going to try to soak up as much of the information that I can. That's going to end this rambling session though. If you stayed this long, thank you. You're awesome. You're amazing. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Or even just leave a comment. Like, I do enjoy talking to people in the comments and receiving feedback and just interacting with like the people who watch my videos. Is probably like the most enjoyable part of actually making the videos, is like putting them out there and receiving the feedback. Like there's nothing better than like waking up in the morning and seeing the notification of my YouTube video and just seeing these positive comments of people like encouraging me. Like it's just it's a very unique thing, and I'm pretty grateful for it. So like thank you to everyone who's been doing that. And regardless, even if that isn't you, I still wish you the best of luck in all of your adventures, and I hope to see you again soon.